Skull Nation, brace yourselves. What we're about to drop on you right now is going to shake the very foundations of US Bank Stadium and send shockwaves through every purple-blooded heart from Minneapolis to Mankato. We've got three absolutely earth-shattering pieces of intel that just landed on our desks. And trust me when I say this, you're not ready for what's coming. Picture this, a defensive game changer who's already turning heads and making defensive coordinator Brian Flores lose sleep with excitement. Then we've got our Iron Man warrior who's been bleeding purple longer than most fans have been alive, continuing to defy Father Time and rewrite the playbook on what it means to be Vikings tough. But hold on to your horned helmets, because the third piece of news is going to hit you like a Danielle Hunter blindside sack. Skull Nation, are you feeling that electricity in the air? That's the sound of destiny calling, and it's wearing purple and gold. We're talking about moves that could literally reshape our entire 2025 season. Decisions that will have Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah either celebrating like we just won the NFC North or scrambling to adjust their master plan. Smash that like button right now if you're ready to ride this emotional roller coaster with us. Drop it in the comments if you think you can handle what's coming next. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you even waiting for? This is the kind of breaking news that separates the real SKOL faithful from the fair weather fans. The first revelation involves a player who just won the ultimate prize last February, a champion who Brian Flores has been tracking since college, and someone who might just be the missing piece to our defensive puzzle. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about defense, Vikings Nation. We're talking about a potential two-way superstar who could revolutionize our special teams game. Are you ready to find out which Super Bowl champion is about to become Minnesota's secret weapon? Skull Nation, did you feel that? That was the sound of our secondary getting an instant upgrade. Isaiah Rodgers, fresh off hoisting the Lombardi Trophy with the Philadelphia Eagles, is already turning heads at TCO Performance Center, and defensive coordinator Brian Flores is grinning like he just found a $100 bill in his old jeans. This isn't just any pickup, Vikings faithful. We're talking about a player who Flores has been obsessing over since his UMass days, calling him a fast playmaker who's been on his radar for years. The man literally said he was all in the moment the opportunity came up to snag Rodgers. When was the last time you heard Flores that excited about a defensive addition? But here's where it gets absolutely insane. Skull Nation. Rodgers didn't just survive in Philadelphia, he thrived. After his career was literally hanging by a thread due to a gambling suspension that could have ended everything, the Eagles threw him a lifeline, and he responded by helping them capture the ultimate prize. Talk about redemption stories that give you goosebumps. Kevin Seifert from ESPN, yeah, the guy who covers our beloved Vikings, just named Rodgers as Minnesota's off-season surprise player. Listen to this quote that's going to make your purple hearts sing. Rodgers demonstrated why the Vikings pegged him as a likely starter, despite a relatively obscure career since the Colts selected him in the 6th round of the 2020 draft. Rodgers displayed playmaking ability, jumping an out route, and intercepting quarterback J.J. McCarthy. Did you catch that? Our own rookie quarterback J.J. McCarthy just got picked off by Rodgers in practice. That's not embarrassing. That's exciting. It means we've got a cornerback who can read plays, anticipate routes, and make game-changing interceptions when it matters most. But wait, there's more. Special teams coordinator Matt Daniels sees Rodgers as the potential answer to our return game struggles. With Brandon Powell gone and Ty Chandler still trying to prove himself, Rodgers brings elite return skills that could flip field position battles in our favor. The 27-year-old speedster is currently penciled in as our CB2, and Flores is already building defensive schemes around his unique skill set. This is a player who went from the brink of career extinction to Super Bowl champion to potential Vikings cornerstone, all in the span of 2 years. But here's the million-dollar question that's keeping Kevin O'Connell up at night. Will they risk their presumed starting cornerback on special teams returns? While everyone's focused on flashy new signings and draft picks, there's a warrior who's been bleeding purple since 2017, longer than almost anyone else wearing that beautiful uniform. We're talking about CJ Ham, the ultimate dirty work specialist who just keeps defying every odds stacked against him. Skull Nation, let this sink in for a moment. CJ Ham is entering his 9th NFL season as an undrafted player from Division II Augustana. Do you understand how absolutely incredible that is? In a league where the average career lasts 3.3 years, our fullback has been anchoring this team through 6 different offensive coordinators. Here's a stat that'll blow your mind. Ham has played in 130 out of 132 possible games since joining the Vikings, including every single game since 2021. When Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook, and Danielle Hunter moved on to other teams, Ham stayed loyal to the purple and gold. When promising young stars like Eric Kendricks and Xavier Rhodes found new homes, Ham remained our constant. The man has accumulated 2,124 career offensive snaps and 2,117 special team snaps. That's an almost perfect 50-50 split that screams versatility. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler, a 4-time team captain, and Minnesota's nominee for the 2024 Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Eskioel Nation, this is what it means to be Vikings tough. But here's what makes Ham absolutely special in today's NFL. He's playing a position that's basically extinct. Only 9 teams in the entire league used a fullback for more than 100 snaps in 2024. While other teams are chasing the latest trends, we've got a throwback warrior who can line up anywhere and execute whatever Kevin O'Connell asks of him. Matt Freese perfectly captured Ham's impact. He's not just a fullback. He's a formation adjuster who fills gaps depending on what the offense needs. 3 wide receivers, Ham can slide into the slot. 2 tight ends, he becomes your second tight end. Need pass protection on 3rd and long, Ham's your guy. And speaking of 3rd and long situations, Eskioel Nation, this is where Ham absolutely shines. While Aaron Jones might have the speed and agility, Ham has the size and intelligence to pick up complex blitzes and keep Sam Darnold clean in the pocket. His 76.6% career catch rate and 5.2% drop rate prove he's got reliable hands when called upon. But here's the beautiful part that every Vikings fan needs to appreciate. CJ Ham represents everything that makes this franchise special: loyalty, toughness, and an unbreakable work ethic. We've been riding high on good vibes about Christian Darrisaw's recovery, seeing him at minicamp and thinking our blindside protector would be ready to anchor the offensive line come Week 1 against the Bears. Well, the Athletics' Alec Lewis just dropped a reality check that's going to make every Purple Heart skip a beat. Lewis C., who's plugged into this organization like nobody else, just called our Week 1 expectations for Darrisaw rosy. Let that word sink in for a moment, Skol Nation. Rosy. As in, maybe we've been a little too optimistic about our All-Pro left tackle's return timeline. This completely contradicts the momentum we've been feeling. Paul Allen, the voice of our beloved Vikings, said just last month that he believed Darrisaw was on track for Week 1. Kevin O'Connell has been nothing but optimistic, praising how Darrisaw has absolutely knocked it out of the park with his rehab and was really attacking his recovery. But here's the harsh reality check. Vikings faithful, there's a massive difference between practicing at minicamp and taking on Montez Sweat and the Bears pass rush in live game action. Darrisaw tore his ACL last October. That's only about 7.5 months of recovery time. While modern medicine is incredible, ACL recoveries don't follow neat little timelines. Lewis revealed something that should actually make us feel better about the organization's approach. This version of the Vikings, led by Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and Kevin O'Connell, doesn't rush injury timelines. Remember TJ Hawkinson? He thought he was ready by August 2024, but the team held him back until mid-season. And look how that worked out. The contingency plan? Justin Skule. Some fans are already calling him Justin Skol, who filled in admirably for Tampa Bay last season. Lewis called him another underrated offseason signing who could absolutely hold down the fort until Darrisaw returns. And if needed, first-round pick Donovan Jackson showed he can slide over to tackle after his championship run with Ohio State. Eskioel Nation, here's the bottom line that every purple-blooded fan needs to understand. FTN Fantasy still ranks our offensive line as the 4th best in the NFL heading into 2025, even with the Darrisaw uncertainty. That's not an accident. That's the result of Adofo-Mensah building depth and O'Connell developing a system that doesn't rely on just one player. The question that will define our season isn't whether Darrisaw will be ready for Week 1. It's whether Skol Nation will trust this organization to make the right decision for the long-term success of this team. Smash that like button if you trust in Kevin O'Connell's process. Drop a skull in the comments if you believe this team is built to overcome any obstacle. And subscribe because we're going to be covering every twist and turn of this journey to bring a championship to Minneapolis. Skol Nation, through Super Bowl champions, joining our secondary Iron Man warriors, holding down the dirty work, and franchise cornerstones battling back from injury. This is what it means to be part of something bigger than football. This is what it means to be Vikings. What part of this triple bombshell has you most excited or most nervous about the 2025 season?